Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for joining our April Advisors Roundtable call. How's everyone doing tonight? Good. I see a bunch of our advisors and some of our DAs logged on tonight. Thank you so much for taking the time to join us on a Tuesday evening. As we're waiting for everyone to filter in, why don't you guys drop in the chat? What district or club are you representing tonight? Where are you guys logging in from? Let's see. I see Vancouver. Ooh, UBCCKI. I see Amanda from Panama District. I see Simone from Panama. Wow, very strong showing from Panama tonight. I see St. Martin's University in Lacey, Washington, near Seattle. Eastern Michigan University in Michigan. New York, our amazing DA and Elmira College. WMU, Michigan. Emporia State, Kansas. PNW Pacific University. Sandhill CKI. Wow, we have a very diverse pool of advisors on tonight from my end, my board's end, as well as staff's end. Once again, thank you so much for joining us. We're super excited to have you all tonight. I think we have a lot of exciting updates for you guys from our end in terms of the progress of CKI, as well as some great conversation prepared for you guys to help you facilitate a successful wrap up to the 2025 to 26 service year, as well as a strong start to the brand new 2026 to 2027 service year. Before I begin, I guess, how's everyone feeling about your year in service? I know we're nearing the end of the semester. There's obviously a lot of mixed emotions. I know from my end as a student, I'm definitely preparing for my final exam seasons with a ton of projects. But how are you guys doing as advisors? How are you feeling about your clubs? Thumbs up, thumbs down, sideways thumb. Okay, I see a few thumbs up. I see Brian with a little hand wave there. Hopefully our discussion tonight will help you guys feel a little bit more confident and once again help you guys have a strong wrap up to the service year. With that, let's go ahead and officially get started for tonight. As you guys know, in case we've never met before, my name is Jonathan Huang. This year, I have the honor and privilege of serving as the Circle K International President. For a little bit about me, I'm currently a senior at Harvard University studying molecular and cellular biology and chemistry on the pre-medical track. This is my 8th year within the Kiwanis family. I spent 4 years in Key Club and then started my own club in Circle K my freshman year. And from there, the rest is history. I've had the opportunity to serve as a club president, a district chair, an international chair, an international trustee, and now as your international president. In my role, I have the opportunity to work alongside an amazing international board. For those of you guys that may not know who these people are, I'll go ahead and take a few seconds to introduce some of the amazing individuals that I have the honor of working with. My partner in crime, most obviously, is my international vice president, Neha Pasupuleti. Neha is a junior at The Ohio State University. She studies business, and she's also been in CCAI for a very long time, just like me. She's got her start back in Builders Club, and this year she has the honor of serving as international vice president, where she works really closely with our district secretaries, treasurers, and editors, as well as all of our international committees. Then for our international trustees, I'm really honored to be joined by 5 of them. We have Trustee Emily Daly from the Illinois Eastern Iowa District, Trustee Damari Brown from the Caribbean District, Trustee Theodore Doyle from the Caribbean District, Trustee Kelly Leland from the Western Canada District, as well as Trustee Elizabeth Madore from the Ohio District. Our 5 trustees work hand in hand with all of the amazing districts within CKI. Each of them work together with around 5 to 6 district governors and help them facilitate their success on the club and district level, while also providing that international guidance and international support. On that note, to share a little bit about what we've been up to on the international board, most recently, just 2 weeks ago, Vice President Neha and I actually had the opportunity to travel to Indianapolis, Indiana, between April 9th and April 12th to train our newest batch of district governors. Obviously, like you guys mentioned in the chat, you guys are representing so many outstanding districts. I know we have CNH in the chat, we have Panama in the chat, we have Kansas in the chat. We have so many outstanding districts represented tonight. I want to be the first to emphasize that you all have outstanding student leaders that are ready to mentor you on the district level. Together with Neha, we trained over 20 district governors in Indianapolis at Kiwanis headquarters, and we've helped them to prepare for an outstanding year in service. That's included working with them to figure out the best mentorship strategies to ensure that your clubs have adequate support for this new service year, and also ensuring that they have sufficient resources to help you guys through any struggles that you guys may face as well. From my end as well as staff's end, I think we're definitely very confident in the potential that this new batch of district governors bring. And we're really excited to see how they're able to help facilitate your success in this coming service year as well. I think each one of the governors, as well as each one of our district administrators, are really excited for what's in store for CKI in the future. Now, as always, I'm going to do a quick review of where we currently stand in terms of membership. As you all know, your membership on the club level is the foundation of our organization. Regardless of what we may do on the international board or what our districts may do to try to help your success, ultimately, it's our clubs and our members that serve as the backbone and the foundation of our organization. It's through you guys' membership recruitment and retention efforts that we've been able to build up CKI. And I know it's through that same hard work that you guys will be able to continue facilitating success for our organization in the long run. Talking a little bit about where we currently stand in terms of membership numbers, as you guys can see here, as of our most recent refresh, CKI currently sits at 5,250 members and 284 dues paid clubs. This places us slightly below where we were last year for 2024 to 2025, but I will say with your support, we'll hopefully be able to not only match, but surpass those numbers. Back when we did our first advisor call at the beginning of the year, one of the most exciting updates that I had for you guys was that we ended 2024 to 25 with membership growth for the first time in over 10 years in our organization's history. This year, as we're looking at the final months of this administrative and financial year, I'm really hoping to work together with you all to help us once again beat that record and continue setting new heights for our organization. Now, I think looking at these numbers, it can definitely seem a little daunting. It seems like we've had some membership decline over the years, which has definitely been the case. But to give you guys a little bit more of a representative look in terms of where we stand right now compared to this point in the past few years, here's a time snapshot placed on as of April 16th, 2026. This basically shows our membership numbers in terms of where we stood at that time for the past 2 years. During this week in 2023 to 2024, we stood at 5,565 members and 283 dues paid clubs. Then for 2024 to 2025, at this point last year, we were at 5,713 dues paid members and 291 dues paid clubs. Finally, where we stand right now, as you all may have heard a few minutes ago, we're at 5,250 and 284. I think looking back at the previous slide, it can definitely seem like we have a lot of room, membership that we need to catch up on. But if you actually look at our progress compared to previous years, the gap is not that big. With your continued recruitment and retention efforts, we're hoping to not only close that gap, but once again reach increase for this year as well. Hopefully, this gives you guys a little bit of motivation to keep pushing even as we approach the end of this academic term. At this point, I wanted to go over and do a quick reminder for all of you on what membership currently entails. In the world of CKI, we have 4 different definitions in terms of where your club may stand when it comes to your club standing as well as your club's current membership. First is our clubs that are active. Active clubs are those that have already paid their dues as of February 1st. On the flip side, we then have clubs that are suspended. For any clubs that are currently still at 0 dues paid members, your club has now been moved into suspended status. That means your club is not considered to be in good standing. Then for those clubs that are at 0, if you remain at 0 dues paid members until October 1st, that's when you officially switch to inactive status. When you're inactive, that means that you will have to formally petition CKI to reactivate your club. With that, we highly encourage you, if you guys have if any of you guys on the call tonight are overseeing a club that's currently suspended that has 0 dues paid members, definitely try to use these final few months or the first few months of the new service year or the new academic term when we come back to the fall to prevent your club from going into inactive. Finally, for any clubs that remain inactive for a year, that means if we look ahead, that means that you remain inactive until October 1st, 2027. At that point, you'll need a petition to recharter as you'll officially become charter revoked, just like as if you were a brand new club. So this is just a broad overview. For any advisors, if you guys have any questions about this, feel free to drop them in the chat or feel free to send a message to myself on Zoom as well. Now talking a little bit about good standing. Some of you guys, most of you likely know what it means to be in good standing, but in case not, I'll do a quick overview of it. For districts, what we use as criteria to have a district to be considered in good standing, they must be home to at least 5 clubs that are similarly in good standing as well. Now, on the club level, we have 2 different definitions dependent on your school's enrollment. If you're currently at a school with more than 5,000 students, your club is required to have a minimum of 15 dues paid members to be considered a club in good standing. On the opposite end, if you're a club with less than 5,000 members, or if you're currently at a 2-year community college, you only require 10 members to be in good standing. However, one thing I want to emphasize is these numbers only represent the minimum that you require. It doesn't represent the number that you should have. From our end, we will always, always, always encourage you to continue recruiting and continue building up your clubs. As a reminder, we have the Strive for 10 initiative, which challenges all of our current clubs to push for at least 10 new members in each service year. That means if this past year you had a total of 15 members, we encourage you in this coming year to try to reach 25. By using those small steps and those small metrics for growth, we're hoping to help you facilitate growth in the long run to ultimately build a really strong and successful club. From our end, just for a little bit of context, we've also done a lot of research when it comes to areas such as club size, member satisfaction, and it definitely clubs that are bigger and larger in size have been historically shown to have a lot more community, a lot more service projects, although that's obviously not the only way. However, I think there's definitely a lot of benefits that having a large scale club can bring, and we hope to help you guys get to there as well. Now, talking a little bit about members in good standing. In order for your members in your clubs to be in good standing, they obviously have to be dues paid, and they have to be a member within Kiwanis Engage on your club's current roster. And then I see a question in the chat. Does enrollment include both in-person and virtual students? Yes, Martha, typically it's dependent on whatever number is listed on one of our online. We use a specific guide. I think it's Peterson's. Josh, feel free to correct me in the chat if I'm wrong. You can provide the link to that there as well. But we use a specific tool that provides a look at enrollment numbers. And most of the time, if those universities happen to report those virtual students, they'll be included as well. However, you can check your specific school or any schools that you may be interested in on the Peterson's College Guide to take a look there to see what number we'd be using from our end. And thank you, Josh just dropped it in the chat there as well. Now, for some of you guys, this may not be super applicable since obviously you guys are already home to a current club. But if you happen to be a part of a Kiwanis club, or if you happen to know any nearby universities that you think would be a great fit to start a new CKI club, I'd like to remind you all, or actually educate you all on something that we have within the world of CKI called summer charters. Basically, now that we've passed the April 1st mark, for any club that gets chartered between now, April 1st, and September 30th, those clubs will be considered dues paid for both the 2025 to 26 service year as well as the 2026 to 27 service year. That means that all of the dues paid members on their roster will be, I just realized the date on here is wrong. It should be September 30th of 2027. And all of those members will be paid between now until 2027. So it's definitely the best bang for your buck when it comes to membership dues. That means by this point in October, you'll only have to pay new dues for those that are joining at that point. Any individual that was already on the original roster will be considered in good standing for the next service year as well. Most importantly, I want to emphasize this is only for new clubs, not any reactivation. So they have to be processed as a new charter. Once again, if you guys are nearby any universities that you think would be a good fit for CKI, definitely reach out to people that you know there. Definitely reach out to your district and let them know. And together with our help, we'll hopefully be able to get a lot of summer charters off the ground to help continue building up CKI as well. Okay. So I know I just ran through a lot of information when it comes to things like membership recruitment and retention, as well as some of the work from our international board. I just wanted to take a moment to pause and see how everyone's doing. Did you guys get all of that? Any questions for me? I'll give everyone about 10 to 15 seconds. If there's any questions, feel free to raise your hand or directly unmute and let me know.
So quick question.
Yes, Brian, how can I help?
Dues for this next coming year, there was an increase, correct?
Yes, this upcoming year, there will be one final $8 increase, and then that'll be the last of the increases that were passed 2 years ago at International Convention.
Okay.
Yes. And then that is another thing to note about summer charters as well. For in case any of you guys want to help us get any new clubs off the ground, any clubs that charter over the summer will still pay the current 2025 to 26 dues rate, and they will not have to pay the increased rate until a year from now. So that's a little benefit for those. You get to save a little bit of money there. Any other questions before I move on? Okay, if not, let's keep going. Now I wanted to go through just some general announcements as well as some general dates that are coming up in the CKI world. First and foremost, as you guys likely know, April 1st, like I mentioned earlier, marks the official transition to the 2026 to 27 leadership year for a lot of your clubs as well as your districts. What that means is at this point in time, it's really important for you guys to go into Kiwanis Engage and officially update your officer rosters on there as well. As of April 1st, 2026, since we've transitioned into the new leadership year, your club, unless you previously inputted your officers for this upcoming year, likely your previous officers have now lost leadership access on the Engage portal. However, as the advisor, you'll be able to go into Kiwanis Engage and officially update them there. This is really important because that's how you make sure that your club officers are able to access a lot of the club management tools, such as your membership rosters, as well as your monthly club monthly report form submissions as well. Once again, if you happen to not have your club officers updated yet, you as the advisor can do so by going into the club leadership's role tab of the Kiwanis Engage portal. So just to provide a little bit of a visual, this is what that portal looks like. As you can see, I'm currently logged into my account. But for advisors, you'll be able to see this screen under the club leadership roles tab, and you'll have spots for 2 presidents, 2 vice presidents, 2 secretaries, and 2 treasurers. So you can go in and input any officers that you currently have within your club. Then, on that note, I'd like to provide everyone a reminder. Within Circle K, we do encourage all of our clubs to submit the monthly report forms by the 5th of each month. This is something that's really important because the monthly report form through Kiwanis Engage is how International is able to track things like your service hours, as well as find stories that you guys may be interested in highlighting on the international level. So please, please, please make sure that your clubs are continuing to report those throughout the entire service year. Even though you guys may go on summer vacation, please know that the monthly report forms actually continue throughout the summer as well. So please make sure that your club officers are submitting those on a monthly basis by the 5th of each month. And then Josh, I see your hand raised.
Just a quick question for the group here. Does anybody, this is a question for you. Does anybody have any questions or uncertainty about how to use Kiwanis Engage and how to update rosters and those types of things? If so, we can walk you through it now.
Maybe an example of what a report looks like?
Oops, I was muted. Yes, of course, I'd be happy to do that. Let me go ahead and exit out of this presentation. Can you guys still see my screen? Yes, perfect. So let me go ahead and log into my Kiwanis Engage portal, and I can give you guys a quick look at what it looks like from my end. So going down in the Kiwanis portal, for any club officers or for any club advisors, you should have this panel here that gives you a few club management options. You can go to club details, which will show you information about your club. You can go to, then if you scroll down, there will be information about your members and all of that. And then if you go to monthly and annual report forms, this is where you'll find the monthly report forms for CKI. As you guys can see, the most recent one since we just started the service year is the April 2026 one. If you go into here, this is where you'll be able to input things like your total service hours, the total amount of money that you raise for things like philanthropic causes or general fundraising dollars. You'll be asked to input things like general body, the number of meetings that your club had, the number of social events you guys had, the number of inner clubs, Kiwanis family relation events, as well as recruitment activities. Then you'll also have the opportunity to include other things as well. Occasionally, your districts may go through and input specific questions, but this is a really great way, once again, for us to know what you've been up to. So we're able to sometimes showcase that, as well as for us to maintain accurate counts on the amount of service hours that we do within CKI. So that's a quick overview of what the Kiwanis Engage portal looks like. Hopefully that was helpful. Okay, so with that, are there any other questions about Kiwanis Engage? Okay, perfect. If not, let's go ahead and continue. So now I wanted to review over some of the upcoming
I had a quick question. Sorry.
Yes, of course. No, you're good. Of course. What's up? How can I help?
So in Kiwanis Engage, I'm a Kiwanis advisor and a faculty advisor.
Yes.
And in Kiwanis Engage, it has my Kiwanis account attached as a faculty advisor, do I need to also add like the one that has my university email address, or is just having it attached to like my business address okay?
Either one is fine. It's just whatever account you use for Kiwanis Engage. So if that's the current account that you currently have your active membership through, that's completely fine.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
Yes, of course. Any other questions? From our end, we know with the recent transition to Kiwanis Engage this past service year, there's definitely been some bugs that we've had to iron out. And obviously, it's required all of us, myself included, to have to completely relearn the system. So if you have any questions, feel free to unmute and let us know. I'd be happy to walk you guys through it. Last call. Okay, if not, let's continue. So now I'll go through and just talk about some of the exciting events that we have upcoming in CKI. So this month for April, on April 22nd, we're going to be having an event together with the Nature Conservancy. For those of you guys that don't know, the Nature Conservancy is our newest international service partner on the international level. And as the name suggests, they do a lot of work when it comes to things like protecting nature as well as environmentalism. So we're going to be having an Earth Day event with them on Zoom, which is super exciting that we definitely encourage you guys to attend. It's actually coming up tomorrow night. So please, please, please help us promote it to your clubs. And later I'll have a slide to talk a little bit more about that as well. Then, if your club has anyone running for international office, on June 9th, there's going to be an international board candidate information call. Then, one that I really want to emphasize is June 18th, our caucus of the whole event. This event is an opportunity for you guys to meet all of the outstanding candidates that we have this year for international office. Just a little insider tip, we have a lot of outstanding candidates running for international office this year, and we're really excited to see where they intend to take the future of our organization. So we highly encourage you guys to attend Caucus of the Whole. There you'll have the opportunity to hear their speeches, hear their platforms, as well as hear them answer some interesting questions about where they want to take our organization. Then later on, I'll have a specific section dedicated to this as well. But July 1st to July 3rd will be our international convention happening in Dallas, Texas. Then finally, July 26th to July 30th will be our annual international board trainer for any of our candidates that end up getting elected during House of Delegates at International Convention. So now talking a little bit more in depth about each of these events, starting with our Earth Day celebration. So together with the Nature Conservancy on April 22nd, we'll be celebrating Earth Day. Once again, that's tomorrow. Our event will include an engaging talk from a scientist at the Nature Conservancy about how you guys are able to do things like help protect forests, help restore habitats, as well as how our work in helping to care for natural species and spaces can help address issues related to climate change. This will be both a really empowering as well as really educational session. So we highly encourage you guys, as well as any of your club members and club leaders to attend as well. Best of all, this is a completely free event. So please, please, please attend. I've included a bit.ly link here. Staff, if you guys are able to, I'd appreciate it if you guys could drop the link in the chat there as well. But definitely another great opportunity for you guys to engage with us there. Now, going back to the discussion about CKI's virtual caucus of the whole, once again, like I mentioned earlier, this is an opportunity for you guys to hear from some of our leaders running for international office. So you'll have the opportunity to hear them speak and talk a little bit more about their platforms. Once again, this is open to all members and advisors, so we highly encourage you to attend. The thing is, even if you aren't able to make it to international convention, we still highly encourage you to attend because it gives you an idea of the people that will likely be representing you on the international level in this coming year. Additionally, especially for clubs that may be sending delegates, we encourage more than just your delegates to attend. Any general members that want to should attend. That way they're able to give input to their club delegates in terms of how they want to vote when it comes to our international candidates.
Jonathan.
Yes, Nicholas, how can I help?
You said earlier June 18. Is it June 18 or June 16?
Oh, sorry about that. Let me check. June 16, and then here it says, oh, this one I forgot to update. I'm pretty sure it's June 16. Josh, would you mind checking the date for me just to confirm? Oh, perfect. June 16. Thank you for pointing that out, Nicholas. I appreciate it. Perfect. Yeah. So the event will be June 16th at 8 p.m. Sorry, I forgot to update the date here. But yes, please, please, please attend. We'd love to see you guys there. Okay. Now moving on to talk about our star event of the year. Most importantly, I'm super excited to officially invite you guys to International Convention. If you guys were on our February call, you guys have likely heard me talk about my amazing story about International Convention. But I think from my end, I'm definitely really excited to see how International Convention goes this year. For those of you guys that don't know, International Convention is considered our biggest and best event of the year. This year, it'll be happening from July 1st to July 3rd in Dallas, Texas. And it's an opportunity for your club leaders to meet members from all around the world. Whether you're a brand new member in CKI or a really experienced member or even a club advisor like yourselves, we encourage everyone to attend International Convention because it's a great opportunity to not only network, but also exchange ideas with all the other amazing leaders in our organization. Through International Convention, we've seen so many people learn about service projects that they're able to bring back to their clubs. For advisors, we see advisors interact and share ideas on how they mentor their student leaders. So it's a great opportunity for both students and advisors alike. Registration is currently open until April 2nd, and it's only $325 for you guys to officially attend. Registration will include 2 breakfasts, 1 lunch, as well as appetizer during the opening reception, as well as the background check. Then something else that we're super excited about is that Hilton Anatole actually is home to a water park resort. That for just $25 per room, you'll be able to gain access to things like Jade Waters, Wi-Fi, coffee, gym, and more. And it's something that you're able to opt into when registering. There's also one thing that's also really exciting for us is that this year's International Convention is going to be hosted in collaboration with Key Club, meaning that your club will have the opportunity to network with a lot of the Key Club members that are in attendance as well. Lastly, a lot of our districts also put in a lot of effort to do district outings as well. So that's definitely a great opportunity for you guys to meet other members and other leaders within your districts. I remember for me, 2 years ago at International Convention in Denver, Colorado, we actually ended up doing a district outing to the aquarium, which was one of my favorite experiences together with my district. And we even went out and saw fireworks together, which, fun fact, if you stay for July 4th, you can definitely see a ton of amazing fireworks in Dallas, Texas this year. Then, as a recap of what things will be available together in collaboration with Key Club, some of our combined events this year will include our opening session, an opening reception, which will have food, games, and music, our keynotes, our exhibitors, as well as our Thursday night food trucks, as well as some of our amazing workshops as well. So definitely a bunch of great opportunities for you guys to network together with Key Club and hopefully even draw in some new members as seniors get ready to graduate and transition to the college level as well. Then talking about another outstanding opportunity that we have to offer this year at International Convention is Next Up. Next Up, for those of you guys that don't know, is an annual program that we do in collaboration with International Convention. And it's one of our events where we basically try to provide mentorship and direct leadership guidance to a lot of our newest leaders in the organization. Once again, it happens during International Convention, and it's a series of interactive workshops that are built into convention, but they're operated on an invitation-only basis, meaning that you have to be approved in order to attend. If you guys have any student leaders that are just getting started within CKI that you think would be a good fit for this program, we highly encourage you guys to have them attend and have them apply, just because it's a great way to jumpstart their leadership. I remember for me, I was actually a Next Up. I actually did Next Up my freshman summer, and that was how I first got my start within CKI on the international level. I was able to attend alongside a bunch of aspiring leaders in the organization as well, many of which ultimately became district level officers, including district governor, as well as a lot of other individuals that actually ran alongside me for international board and even served as international trustees alongside me last year. So Next Up is definitely a really, really great leadership program that I would highly encourage you guys to have your qualified members apply to. This year, CKI is proud to provide a $200 stipend to help supplement the cost of International Convention. This is our way of kind of financially supporting any individual that wants to attend International Convention and Next Up. For anyone that participates, you'll get that $200 reimbursed you through your district, as well as an official Next Up certificate. Other benefits include lunch on Thursdays, as well as other prizes. So it's definitely a really great opportunity. We will note that Next Up participants are still responsible for registering and getting their own hotel rooms alongside their club and or district. From our end, for anyone that is interested in applying or becoming a part of Next Up, these are the general criteria that we'll be evaluating people on. Most importantly, to be eligible for consideration, they have to be an active paid member from a club in good standing. They have to obviously attend International Convention in Dallas, Texas. They have to receive endorsement by either you as the club advisor or the district administrator. They also have to complete 10 or more global leadership certificate courses by May 14th, which is something that you can do through the Kiwanis Engage portal. Finally, they also have to commit to attending all 5 of the official workshop sessions happening at International Convention. Due to the size and nature of Next Up, the class is going to be limited to 20 participants. And after applications close on May 14th, people will find out on May 20th whether or not they're selected. Once again, if you have any club leaders that you think would be good fits, please encourage them to apply. This is an amazing leadership camp, and it's a great leadership development opportunity. It was definitely a pivotal role. It played a pivotal role in my own leadership upbringing within CKI, and I think it can similarly play a really inspiring role for anyone else that's just getting started within Circle K as well. And staff, if you could, feel free to go ahead and drop that. I'd love it if you guys could drop the link to that in the chat as well. Once again, applications for this are due May 14th. Okay, so those were all of the announcements. Just like before, I know I ran through a lot of events ranging from our Nature Conservancy call to virtual caucus of the whole to international convention to even our Next Up programming. So any questions from any advisors about anything? If you have any questions about registering for ICON, about what Next Up entails, feel free to unmute and let me know now. Any questions from anyone? Okay, if not, let's go ahead and keep going then. At this part, now we're going to transition for the part for you guys to share a little bit more about what you guys have been up to on the district or on the club level. So at this time, we're going to officially break off into breakout rooms. And there you guys will have the opportunity to go through and talk about these 3 questions. First being, how are you preparing your 2026 to 27 club officers for a strong year in service upon their return in the fall? 2, how are you facilitating a successful transition between your outgoing and incoming board of club officers? And 3, how can your club use the summer as an opportunity to prepare for membership recruitment and retention, ensuring that you maintain both action and momentum for next year? Once again, those are the 3 questions we'll have you guys discuss in your breakout rooms. Momentarily, I'm going to stop screen sharing, and then I'm going to add I'm going to drop these questions in the chat box as well. And then from there, I'll go ahead and make around 2 to 3 breakout rooms and then split everyone up for that discussion. Welcome back, everyone. Hopefully you guys had some great conversations in your breakout rooms. I dropped by each of the rooms and I heard some great discussion. Now I'd like to give all of you guys an opportunity to share. So we'll rotate around. I'll call on each of the rooms, and then from there, we'll have one person share for about 60 seconds. We'll keep it nice and brief, but what are your main takeaways from what you guys discussed? We'll start with room 1, which was Allison, Brian, Eric, Josh, and Katrina. If any of you guys would like to share.
I was kind of told I had to. So I think a lot of it was just one of the things that came up, but was a great idea. Brian brought up and asked Josh, and it sounds like it'd be a good thing is getting a schedule for presidents on the monthly thing. Josh said they have one for governors, but try to do presidents of clubs to help out. But where most of us, I think, run into the problem is I think all of our clubs, if I remember correctly, are pretty dormant during the summer. So then it makes us have to ramp up really quick at the beginning of school. So that was one of the things. And then as far as preparing transition, one of the things we talked about is having, the members go out to the Kiwanis clubs, now before they leave. So that way when they come back, they know who to talk to.
Yes, absolutely, Eric. Great advice from you guys. Then room 2, we had Kelly, Martha, Nicholas, and Paula.
I guess I'll go. So a couple things that came up. So we talked about nothing wrong with collaboration with other clubs on campus. If your values align and the types of service align, that's a great way that maybe some people from the other club will end up joining. Case in point with yourself, Jonathan, UNICEF, and Kiwanis, lots of collaboration there. And we talked about really marketing to key clubbers that it should be a no-brainer and that we need to invite key club members to come to CKI events, especially those who are very active. upon throughout their high school career. And we know that they are attending a post-secondary institution that has a CKI. Like, it's a captured audience, so we don't want to lose that opportunity. So those are a couple things that we talked about. I don't know, any Martha, Nicholas, Philip, anything else to add?
No, I think you hit it on the button right there.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Kelly. Great reflections from your team as well. Definitely take advantage of partnerships with other student orgs on campus. Definitely helps a lot there. Then room 3, we had Amanda, Audrey, Barb, Julia, Linda, and Michelle.
Yeah, so we talked a lot about that summer dormant period as well, and are focusing, a couple of us, and I'm adopting it now, of reaching out with our officers in the summertime to talk with them to kind of prepare so that we can hit the ground running instead of, kind of ramping up the first month of school, so we can just be ready to go for those new student enrollment kind of fairs that happen in the first couple weeks. And then also like linking up with them over the summer for service opportunities with the Kiwanis Club for the people that are staying local and available. And then the other thing that also came up was really making sure each club has a transition document with like the important account information, like the requirements of each of your schools. Like, I know it was critical for me, like, to have the logins, because like that wasn't really communicated when I took over, and our president didn't know them. And so the fact that our club had a transition document really enabled us to like figure things out. And we would have just been up a creek had we not had that. So I think those were the main top. And then we started talking about hitting student enrollment fairs first thing in the semester.
Definitely. Great reflections from your side as well, Audrey. I completely agree with both of the groups that talked about the summer dormant period. From our end, we always think that's one of the most underutilized part of the CKI service here, right? Obviously, we want to make sure that our students are enjoying their summer, but don't forget that summer is a really great opportunity to plan. And it's not just planning out your service projects or planning out your recruitment efforts that can be helpful for the upcoming service year as well. Something that we saw piloted by the Texas-Oklahoma CKI district governor a few years ago was actually using Instagram as a way of actively recruiting a lot of students. Over the summer, a lot of these universities will have Instagram pages that are specifically for the incoming committed freshmen. What we've seen more and more clubs do, whether they're building up a brand new club from scratch or recruiting members for their already existing club, is that they'll go online and start either following or sending messages to a lot of those incoming freshmen on those Instagram pages to start drawing them in early. We think that's a really creative approach, because not only does that help get CKI on their mind before they even get to campus, but it also reminds them, especially for those that were a part of Key Club, that CKI is a family that's ready to continue facilitating their journey in service and leadership as well. So heavy emphasis on that, and also love the idea of transition packets as well. It's something that we do in basically every student org here on my campus, and definitely very fundamental to ensuring that there's that continued flow of knowledge between different executive boards. It's especially important when you're coming off a very strong year with really strong officers, because you don't want to lose that momentum. So definitely great ideas. Across the board, amazing ideas, everyone. Once again, like I said in each of your individual breakout rooms, thank you so much for all of the hard work that you guys are doing to mentor student leaders within CKI. Even from my own experience, having a strong advisor makes a really big difference when it comes to a student's journey in service and leadership. So knowing that we have so many passionate advisors that are on tonight that are ready and excited to continue supporting CKI, as well as all of your members and leaders, is something that's really, really touching to me. And it's something that I'm grateful for, and we're excited to continue supporting you throughout your years in service as well. To close us off for tonight, I'd like to give one more big shout out to Dallas, Texas and International Convention. For those of you guys that may not have heard this story before, I'm actually especially excited for Dallas, Texas this year, because I'm a Texas native. For a little bit of background, the Hilton Anatole was actually the site of my first and only ever Key Club district convention my senior year of high school. And it was there that I learned about CKI, and it was there that I was inspired to join CKI. Now, 4 years later, International Convention is going to be back in that same hotel, giving me such an amazing full circle story of getting to retire as international president in the same hotel that inspired me to join CKI to begin with. And I'm excited to use International Convention this year as a similarly inspiring opportunity for all of our other student leaders as well. And I hope to have you guys, as well as all of your club members and club officers there as well. With that, that's basically all that we had for all of you tonight. Before you guys log off, I'd love to go ahead and do a quick group photo of everyone. So if you're able to, we'd love to have you guys turn your cameras on and we'll do a quick photo for my president Instagram, and then you guys will be good to go for tonight, okay? Wow, I see Katrina logging on even from the car. We appreciate you, Katrina. Okay, perfect. I'll give everyone 5 seconds to get ready. And then in just a moment, we'll go ahead and take the photo, okay? Okay, perfect. We should have everyone now. So everyone look up at your camera and smile. 3, 2, 1. Perfect. You all look amazing. Once again, thank you so much for joining us tonight. We're incredibly grateful for all of the work that you guys are continuing to do in all of your clubs. And please remember that we're always here as a resource. I'm going to go ahead and drop my email in the chat. If you guys need anything or if you guys ever need support from International, feel free to email us anytime, okay? Thank you so much, everyone, and have a wonderful night. If you have any questions, feel free to stay behind. Otherwise, you guys are free to go for the evening. Thank you again. We'll see you guys later. See you guys in Dallas, Texas.